Hello and welcome to another Royal Reviewer live episode. And today we are going to be talking about who is at Balmoral with the Queen, I should say. And of course, the Royal Tour Africa is about to kick off. It's about to begin tomorrow. So I will be bringing you all the latest videos on the Royal Tour Africa each and every day. So I'm hoping notifications are going out. I'm going to refresh my screen and see if I can find the chat room that's going on. Yes, I can see it's just coming up now. So, hello to everyone who is in the chat room. Yes, I can see notifications coming out. We have 50 people in the room already. Hello. Yes, let's go to Scotland. Let's go to Scotland first. Then we'll go to Africa. This chat is going to be truly global. So, I do have a link to the Queen at Balmoral photos. So I will just copy that and we can share it in the room. If you're watching this on catch up, I will post this link in the description box so you can follow. Hello to everybody. I can see lots of names that I recognise. So hello to you all. Did I post something earlier then delete it? Yes, it was my weekly vlog on my other channel. But I accidentally didn't set the premiere. I just put it live. So I had to quickly delete it and then spend another hour and a half re-uploading it. So yes, I deleted it very quickly. So I'm hoping no one got to see it all the way through. Hello to Leslie, who's typing from Miami. Hello to you. And wherever you may be in the world. So I'm hoping that you've have had a chance to open up that link. And let's go down. So I'm not going to read the article as such, but I am going to just look at the pictures because there are 13 in all. So the Queen is wearing, well, she's in her signature colour block. I would say it's a kind of a blue, but going more towards like a mauve colour, I would say. And it has some beautiful feather detailing on the hat and some black trim around the brim of the hat and the very top of the hat, and of course the collars, so very much coordinating. She has a matching blanket as well, and seated next to her in the next picture is of course William. So this is William minus Catherine and minus the children. So this is why I think William's up there by himself. Obviously it's an opportunity for William to go. It must have fitted in well with his diary. And, of course, it's difficult for Catherine with the children to come up at this time of the year because the children are back at school. Now, I know this is obviously over the weekend, but we don't know what day in the week William went up. He could have spent, from Wednesday until Sunday, and then maybe going back down to England, to London tomorrow. So that could be what's happening. So I'm just imagining that Catherine and the kids are a little bit tied up at the moment. But there we go. William accompanying the Queen today, looking rather dapper, and I don't think I've seen him in a tie quite like that before. But yes, obviously, it is important for someone in line to the throne to spend quality time alone with the Queen, and this is his occasion to do that. We also have Charles and Camilla, who stay at their Birkhall property, and they are driving themselves with Charles in the driving seat. And yes, that's almost all we see actually. So there isn't a lot at Balmoral. The Queen has probably a couple of weeks left at Balmoral, returning in October to continue her yearly programme of royal engagements. Now, I do think the royal family, it's a little bit like when I used to work in a school. To me, my January was actually September, because that's the start when all the children go back to school. So my year, while I was working in a school, always started, I thought, in September. That was always like my new year. And it's a little bit the same for the royals. After the Balmoral's Day, when all the kids have gone back, when the Queen returns to work, September, October is the beginning of their working year, and that programme rolls out yet again. The Unstoppable programme, because it is, of course, unstoppable. And again, just more pictures through the window of the Queen and Prince William, and a few more of Charles and Camilla, so nothing terribly too bad. Well-wishers did turn out. There are a few what looked like tourists or locals in the area with just, standing there waiting to give the Queen a bit of a wave. And that's kind of it. And then there's a last picture of the police protecting Craffykirk Church where the service is held. So not terribly too much to say on that one, really. Clappy G's asking what the tiara is today. It is the Spencer tiara, because someone asked, I forgot who, in yesterday's chat, do I have the one that she wore to her wedding? And yes, I do. It's the Spencer tiara. HM the King says, William learning from the Queen how to behave when there's a quarrel between monarch and PM. Oh, yes. I imagine she will be giving him some rather solid advice. Barbie Longfellow says, just got here, love your sweater, you look very dapper. It's the first time I've worn long sleeves all summer. So yes, I've got my long sleeve on today. Elaine says, the Queen works 24/7, even when she is supposed to be on holiday. She does indeed. Yes, because she continues to get her red boxes. They just keep on coming, which is full of all the official paperwork coming up. Even though at the moment Parliament is suspended, there will still be official things that need her attention. H.A. Bracken says, aren't William and Catherine beginning their trip to Pakistan soon? Yes, but we don't have any concrete details on the itinerary or anything like that. But it is after the Sussexes return. Jill Beck says, do you think we are seeing more of William and Kate because she wishes to have more to say in their training? I mean, I'm not quite sure whether we are seeing more of William and Catherine in particular. I mean, I wouldn't say I've seen a noticeable increase in their sort of involvement with the Queen. I mean, the Queen does periodically have other members of the family accompany her on different things, personal, private, and public. So I wouldn't say we're seeing terribly too much, but it is expected, obviously, that William and Catherine will likely be Prince and Princess of Wales, and then of course King and Queen Consort. So it's understandable that spending more time with the Queen will come up. But I wouldn't say I've necessarily noticed a massive increase at the moment. Edna says, every time I turn it something with Kate and William working or in the news. Why? I have no idea. You could say the same about lots of different royals, or some royals don't get the attention. The Greater Bilby says, hello to you. James Med 4 says, Amazon Prime has a wonderful 70s UK sitcom called Two's Company. Do you know what? I've never watched that one. On their video service, it's so British/American. I don't think I've seen that one. Hello to Patricia. And hello to Louisa in the Big Apple. Hope there will be lots of photos from Africa. I'm hoping so too, and videos. Why Gordon says, do you think when Harry and Meghan come back from Africa, they will join the Queen at Balmoral? The Queen may have gone. I'm not entirely sure whether the Queen will have gone at that point. I wouldn't have thought so. I wouldn't have thought they'd come straight off a tour and then go straight to Balmoral. I think they'll probably have at least three or 4 days downtime. Although that hasn't been confirmed. Carol says, why is it that more emphasis is placed on the amount of money Meghan's clothes cost than anyone else's? I would like to know how much William and Harry's suits cost. Well, I would agree with you on one level and not on the other. So yes, I see what you're coming from. I don't like there being emphasis on prices of clothes. I think it takes away from the engagement. But there is, and there always has been, whenever you look, I mean, certainly if you look at the Daily Mail articles, there has always been, ever since Catherine married William, there has always been an outfit breakdown for Catherine of how much it costs, blah, blah, blah. They do exactly the same for Meghan. But this is where I do agree with you. There is a complete, discrepancy between how they treat the females when it comes to clothing and how much it costs compared to the males. There is a little bit of sexism going on here. So yes, whereas they don't typically mention who the suit is by, they don't typically mention the price or the cost of the suit. They do with the females, and that's the way it has been, and I don't see it changing. That doesn't mean that I don't think it should change, but I can't see that changing anytime soon. Kathy G says, is Duchess Camilla getting training? Oh, I think she's had plenty. I think Camilla is pretty much well trained. Matt says, what do you know of Prince Andrew? I know nothing more than I did before. I mean, with the Prince Andrew ongoing issue, it is still, of course, a legal matter. And I do believe that the ball at the moment is firmly in the court of the lawyers in America representing those women. So, as I've said before, everything hinges at the moment with regards to Prince Andrew on there being a charge made. So, I think what everybody is waiting for is, will there be a charge? If they do have enough to bring a charge, then I think they should pretty much get on with it and do it. If you've got enough to bring one, bring it. If there is a charge, then of course I think Prince Andrew should fully cooperate with that in whatever he needs to do to cooperate with it. But until then, there is nothing new. We don't really know anything more than what we did from before. So yes, I think everyone is just waiting on, will there be a charge? If there is one, I think hurry up and make it. If not, then they also need to say, well, we still stand by what we say, but we don't have enough evidence to bring a charge. That it's over. So like I say, I think the ball is very much firmly on the American lawyers' court at the moment, and we eagerly await to see what happens and what comes of it. Edna says, when is the hate going to stop? It's sick people. Well, I agree, there are lots of very sick people out there, and I have no idea. I wish I had a crystal ball and could tell you when it's going to stop. I wish I could make it stop. Alicia says, I just watched a video about Princess Charlotte's birth. Going down memory lane. Yes, I mean, there are videos out there from way, way, way back. Sharona says, if William does become Prince of Wales, where's it gone? Where's your comment gone? It skipped down to the bottom. Yes, if William does become Prince of Wales, will he have a ceremony in Wales like his father? We don't know. I mean, it could be seen. I suppose it depends on the time it happens. So it could be seen as being elaborate, or it could be seen at the time as being necessary. So I would like to see one. I would love to see a ceremony at Carnarvon Castle. But who knows? We really are going to have to just wait and see. I suppose they'll put the feelers out at the time to see what the public mood is and to see whether it would be well received or not. Annie says, why do they need the Sussexes back before the Cambridges go on tour? I'm kind of lost on that. I think it all goes down to attention. I really do. And it's been that way for a long time with lots of different, royal tours. They don't usually have two major royal... I mean, I'm sure that you'll go back and find some examples where tours have overlapped, or there have been two, but in recent times there hasn't really been any occasions that I can remember where there has been two major royal tours at the same time. Part of it is logistics, part of it might be resources, part of it might be attention, but also I think a part of it is royal reporters, because we know that when Prince Harry a while ago, did he go to Denmark? It might have been Denmark. It was the Netherlands, I think. And there was a shortage of royal reporters. There was lots going on. And, the royal reporters didn't know sort of how to spread themselves around. So I also think if there was two major royal tours on at the same time, they wouldn't have enough royal reporters to cover both events equally and fairly. So there is a bit of logistics as well going into all of that. So yes, there is quite a few things to consider when planning royal tours and seeing if they overlap, that kind of thing. And of course, not all tours are equal. Some are more high profile than others. Jean Kay says, Williams, the press did the same to Kate when she was a new royal. Yes, they complained about the cost of her clothes and said she was too middle class. They did, and they still list the cost of her clothes. Mariel says, good morning from Brisbane. Hello to you in Brisbane. In fact, I remember an article years ago saying, how much a year Catherine's outfits cost and blah, blah, blah. Anne-Marie says, yes, I want to know why more emphasis is being placed on Meghan's outfits than the other royals. Well, I think it's because of attention again. Because the press know that if they say, Meghan wears 9,000 blah, blah, blah pound outfit, then it's going to get clicks and views. But they, like I say, in the past, they have done the same for Catherine. And you can go back and check the articles because they have done. H.N. the King says the suits are bespoke. Well, from Savile Row, most definitely. But yeah, so I suppose maybe they wouldn't know the cost, but they'd have an estimate. I mean, they roughly know how much a bespoke suit is likely to cost in the regions of. H.A. Bracken says, I noticed on the last couple of articles you've linked about Catherine that the price of her clothes were listed too. Yes, they've always done it on the Daily Mail. So depending on, I suppose, what publication you're looking at, they've always done it on the Daily Mail. Alicia says, they love to pick on Meghan. The people behind those horrible articles are a bunch of middle-aged, jealous women who never... Oh, and some men. There's some men too. Who never get a chance to be with Harry. They're jealous. And the King says, I always note people fail to see the fact that one wearing the most expensive clothes by far is the Queen. Indeed, she does have the most expensive clothes, and all handmade, by Angela Kelly, mostly. Minnie says, because men aren't running out to buy clothes. Women always want to know the clothes details and look to buy it or cheaper versions. Yes, women do like to look at replicas of cheaper versions. And yes, I would say women are probably, if you want to go stereotypical, they probably are, more likely to go out and buy something they've seen on somebody than what a man would. However, that's not to say that men are not influenced by seeing people in good fashion. Definitely not the case. But I would probably, if you wanted to say, one way more than the other, I'd probably say, women are more likely. Carol says Macy's has suits for over $1,000 on sale for $750. That's not royalty. I am fighting for equality here. Go buy the suits. Can a royal go to prison? Yes. The only one who can't is the Queen, or the monarch at the time. Helen says, sorry, nearly lost you. Forgot to plug in the phone. Oh no, I hate it when something runs out of power. H.A. Bracken says, I've skipped down again. I have to go up and find you. Where's it gone? Oh, where's your comment gone? Oh, even Charlotte's dress at the regatta, the price was listed and she's 4 years old. Well, there you go. Barbie says, bullseye. The cost of clothing being reported by the press is not an issue between the two duchesses as much as it's more a sexism issue. Jean Kay says, big show in the US. Dateline had the abused women on and one named Prince Andrew directly as having relations with her at 17 years old, with Epstein and Maxwell. Yes, but we knew that anyway, didn't we? Yes. But we knew that those allegations had been made in the first place. So again, nothing particularly new. What we're seeing is we're seeing them speak about it publicly, but it's still things that we've known for a while. So like I say, I think it all boils down to, the ball is in, I think, their court at the moment, and which way are they going to go? We don't know at this stage. Anne-Marie says, Alicia, I agree with you. They knew that they will never measure up to Meghan, hence the hate. Kathy says, do we know how many security personnel for each royal? Well, they usually work in, I think it's 12-hour cycles. So there's usually, like two per royal, so that you've got at least one. However, they do have the assistance and backup of whatever police protection are from that country. So they will have access to police protection of the local area. But they, depending on where they go, they may fluctuate. They may have more. They definitely won't have less than one. But in certain situations, they may have more than one at any one time. Especially if, for example, they're out in public versus being in private. But they will always have protection. Anne Marie has got a saying: "The fox can't get the grape, so he says it's sour." Hello to Vera in Australia. Monroe Taylor says the press are taking the fun out of royal watching. There's a bug. Hit the bug with my fan. There has, I suppose, things have changed. You know, the press is like an ever-evolving beast, and at the moment, the beast has at least 3 heads. Mary Brunn says, I read the new name for Harry and Meghan is the Ginger and the Cringe. What? Who came up with that one? I'm going to give that one a black fan flap. A fan flap. Who came up with that? Patricia says, just a lot of pot stirring to me. I do look at replicas. Where's James Medford's comment gone? I'm starting to feel that the press and media are trying to split up the Sussexes. They want to hound her like they did Fergie. Oh, I don't think they'll split them up. I definitely don't think so. Michelle says they should do the price of for where for the men to get the clothing. The men would dress better as they would know where to go. It would be handy, wouldn't it? Right, I'm going to kind of skip all the way down to the bottom. There we go. Right, I'm going to change now. So we've done that, and I wanted to talk about, where's it gone? Oh yes, it was the planes on the tour. So the press and the media were stranded. They were actually stranded. Their flight was cancelled. But they are there. I think they got there 15 hours later, so it was almost like they were stranded for about. Well, they were stranded for a while, so they have arrived. Now, I read an article that says that Harry and Meghan were flying out today, which probably means overnight, maybe. So I think Harry and Meghan may even kind of be there, or they may fly out very early, because don't forget Africa is 2 hours ahead. So let's just say they arrived at maybe 7 or 8 African time. Back to us in the UK would be about 6 o'clock. So they could be flying sort of tonight. It could be, or the early hours of the morning, if you look at times. Little Annie says, the monarch is above the law, as the law in this country is in her name. That is true. Great Bilby says, I hadn't seen that BBC article that they've apologised to Prince Harry for. Yes, they did. I spoke about this in my weekly chat. But yes, they did apologise, because obviously they his name was mentioned in a piece they were doing, which was very controversial, about neo-Nazis, and they failed to inform the palace that Prince Harry's name was being used in it. Not to support anything, of course, but they just didn't. They failed to inform the palace, and the palace were not happy about it. I think we will get to see baby Archie. I don't know for sure, but I'm thinking we may see. I think everyone's anxious to see what Meghan will wear in Africa. I'm feeling really tired. I feel like yawning. The Great Bilby says, yes, that's right. Elliot was talking about that in a recent stream, and said she could star in a crime drama series called Murder One Road. Yes, most definitely. I think the Queen would be amazing. I think she would be a very good actress. Like I said before, most of the royals, I think it's kind of like, it's almost interchangeable. I think to be a good actor, you can be a good royal. And to be a good royal, you can be a good actor, because there are similar properties and qualities that you need to do both roles. Werner says, I'm hoping we see as much of them as we did when they went on their last tour. He is hoping, but who knows? I mean, things, relationships with the press have changed since then, so I really wouldn't like to say, but we shall see. Candice Bavaria says the Telegraph has a good itinerary listed, and they said that is where the Sussexes are staying is confidential. It's usually something like Government House, so it's usually one of the official government residences of the UK in that country, usually. Anne-Marie says the Duke and Duchess of Sussex have to protect him from the trolls. They're even using fictitious babies and saying it's Archie. Oh dear. Yes, being royal is acting. Well, think about it. If you're going into an engagement, you have to have oratory skills. You have to be able to deliver speeches. You have to you have to almost remember lines. You're pretty much on a stage. All eyes are on you. It's kind of a performance. So yes, I would definitely say that acting and being a royal they very overlap, to be quite honest. Hitting the King says nobody's born waving like the Queen does. Yes, like this. Yes, like this. Mary Brunn says, can you imagine what it must be like for Meghan, having every move scrutinised, wondering what terrible things will be said every time you step outside? Well, that's my life every day, my loves. Werner says the in-laws are here. You've got to go. Oh no. Well, I mean, it's good because your in-laws are there, but oh no, you've got to go. Have fun. Alicia says there are people saying that Archie is a doll, or saying that he has down. Yes, those people, those rumours started lies. Those lies started on the internet. They started on YouTube, I do believe. I do believe Lizard Lady might be involved in at least one of those lies. Yes, I was born waving. H.M. the King says, I always love the clip of the Duke of Gloucester saying it's hard to pretend to be interested in all the engagements. You have to act, see what I mean? H.M. the King says, if they are unbearable, then you have the option to stop talking about them. Michelle says, you might be too young, but the Royals put on a Christmas show for the Royal Reporters and it bombed. It was with Prince Edward was into acting. Yes, they did. It's a Royal Knockout, I do believe. And yes, I was too young, I think, to remember watching it. I think it happened during when I was alive, of course. But I know all about it. I know all about the story. Yes, Prince Edward put the Royals in It's a Royal Knockout, and it didn't go down terribly well. But that's because it wasn't natural, I don't think. Andrea says, I would love to know who the lizard lady. I'm yawning. I am actually really, really tired. I've had a very busy day. Very exhausting. Lizard lady shall remain as lizard lady. Maria Barr says, when supporters of the Sussexes repeat nasty things the press says about them, to verify that it was actually said only leads itself to emphasising the negative comment rather than defence of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. I would agree. The Queen came out saying, one hurts, don't touch little one. Oh my goodness. Barbie Longfellow says, I remember It's a Royal Knockout. It was a royal it was a royal knockout. Little Annie says, I watched it and it was embarrassing. I'm really tired. Was there ever a royal guillotine? In France there was. See, in England we preferred to behead with a sword or an axe, to be quite honest. So I don't think there was in the UK. That's more French, the guillotine. No, it's usually an axe with a head on a block in the UK, or if you were lucky, a sword like Anne Boleyn. I can't wait for The Crown either. It's going to be so good. I don't know. I haven't looked for It's a Royal Knockout on YouTube. Maybe they do. Thank you to the Greater Bilby. I am very tired tonight. I feel like I've been through the mill this week, and it's still going on. Right, I am going to end it today. We have got to 30 minutes. So I've spoken about what I want to speak about today, and I do hope that you have enjoyed the chat. So if you've enjoyed this chat, please give it a big old thumbs up. Don't forget to share on social media, and hit the notification bell so that you know whenever I upload a new video, and make sure you are subscribed. And also check out my weekly vlog, which is going to premiere in a few hours on Elliot's British Life. I did put the link in the community page as well. So from me in Shropshire, mwah, to you all, and goodbye.